captures in this area started around 1966 when entire pods were rounded up in a purse seine, herded into a bay or into an area where the net would extend all the way to the bottom. Whales, mostly young whales, were removed. In about a 10-year period, there were about 58 whales taken out of this population alone. There were about 70 left when that capture era was over. We were going to be out of whales in another 10 years if they kept it up.
It was the gold rush of killer whale in aquaria around the world. Most of them came from this area. And it was over the course of the sort of ecological awakening, I suppose, in the late 60s, early 70s. And all of a sudden people were saying, well, wait a minute, how many whales are out there? Can they sustain this kind of capture rate? And indeed, nothing was known about them.
Karen and I were out sailing, and we stumbled into the middle of this capture, and it was awful. I can tell you candidly to this day, it was one of the most gruesome things we've ever been involved in. And we watched the nets separate, and we watched them close the nets, the explosives in the water, the driving the whales. It was just vicious. And we came home thoroughly disgusted and wanted to do something about it. And of course, we took up the issue. And when they wanted to capture, those huge numbers of whales to take to different aquariums around the world, we said, no, that's not the right thing to do. And we tried to say, here's our shot to stand up as a state and to make a statement.
When we brought Namu in, we, for say, wore white hats, and all of a sudden now I'm wearing a black hat. I think my ex-partner and myself have done more for these animals than all environmental groups put together. We showed the public that these critters are not something to be shot at or something to be harassed. They are not the mean, vicious critter they were 10 years ago.
I think it was a different attitude. I would guess that 25% of people were with us. Probably 75% of people were either against us or just didn't care. But as time's gone by, that's changed dramatically. I mean, today I would guess that 95% of people, maybe 97% would say, don't touch our whales. Leave these whales alone.